to evolve. Road trip. Summer to evolve. Summer to evolve. Yeah. The summer to evolve. Road trip. Summer to evolve. Summer to evolve. Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Summer to Evolve road trip. You're here at Working Session Wednesday. As you saw, we're virtually in New York this week. And all week long, we've been talking about inclusive employee culture. So I'm super excited for you to walk through this lesson today with our Customer Success Manager, MT Ray. First, I'm going to introduce myself real quick and go over a couple of housekeeping items. So I'm Amber Ferrari, Marketing Communications Manager here at Jobvite. If you need anything, feel free to message me in the chat panel. Happy to help you out. If you have questions about the lesson, technical or otherwise, you have a questions panel that you can ask those in. We'll reply to you or get back to you after the session. The last 10 minutes of our session today, we will have a Kahoot quiz. So you're going to learn this awesome lesson about inclusive employee culture. Then we're going to see what you remembered. And that's for a Jobvite prize pack. And there's even more chances to win prizes after that review is over. So please stick around so you can get in on that. And then if you want to tag us on social, tell us your favorite thing about the session today. We're at Jobvite at Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, you name it. And then you can use the hashtag Jobvite S2E. That's all from me. You can find me on LinkedIn if you'd like to connect, but I'd love to welcome MT Ray to get us started on our lesson today.
Hi, Amber. Hello, everyone.
Hey,
Good to hear your voice, and so happy that so many people have joined our session. I'm MT, as Amber said. I'm a Customer Success Manager here at Jobvite, and I'm super excited today to talk to you about this world of work we're in today and how you build a great culture. So a little bit about me. I have over 20 years in talent acquisition, primarily in the tech world, where I've worked in large companies and startups and all companies in between, led both global recruiting as well as global HR, and can really feel the pain a lot of you are going through right now as you are building your teams and trying to attract and retain talent. Talent is my passion. I love attracting, I love hiring, and I love developing talent. So excited today to talk more about my experiences and give you some tips for building that culture at your company. A little bit about me as we're now here on this road trip. My favorite trip was just about a month ago. I went to Hawaii. It was for my anniversary and it was amazing. It is a long flight for many people, but it was well worth it. It was beautiful and the people were so nice. So try to get to Hawaii if you can. Driver's seat or passenger seat, I would say right now I'm a passenger seat type of person. I like to just chill and listen to music and do my own thing, but I do like to be in control at times, so you might see me in the driver's seat as well. Plane, trade, auto, I'm a plane girl. I like to get places quick. I move fast, so as soon as I can get there, I would take a plane. And favorite international cuisine, for me, MT, it's Italian. Who doesn't love a good glass of red wine and some caprese salad and some pasta? So Italian food all the way. So again, we're here for Working Session Wednesdays, and the topic is building that culture in this new world of work. And I was super excited when I was given this topic to talk about culture, especially someone coming from a career in HR. What's going on today? I'm sure all of us are asking, as a year ago we were downsizing and furloughing people and dealing with job losses and lots of unemployment, to where we are today, where we can't get enough workers to come in and take the jobs that we have open, and we're dealing with a whole new set of problems. It's the Great Resignation. It's just amazing to me to see how things have transpired. So as you see from this slide, there's so much going on as people have learned how to work remotely and in a hybrid environment. And now workers are saying, hey, if I don't have to go back to the office, I'm okay with that, or I don't want to work for a company that's going to make me. So from a culture standpoint, in this new world of work, you need to think about how you're going to deal with that. Workers are more stressed than ever. I think all of us feel that, between pandemic, working from home, distractions, family life, Zoom fatigue, everything you want to say. It's definitely a much more increased stress environment. And people are working longer. I know, myself included. You wake up in the morning and you start off your day on your inbox and you don't leave your chair for many hours. So people are definitely working more hours, feeling burnout. And as companies and leaders, you need to think about, how am I going to build a culture that's going to make them want to engage and want to work with us for the long term. So lots of crazy times happening. So let's talk a little bit about, building culture. And, coming from HR and the people space my entire career, culture trumps strategy every day of the week. I mean, you can have the best business processes, operations, product, etc. But without the right people and the right leadership and that feeling of belonging that culture brings, it's very hard to be successful. So, and especially today, as we're in this remote world or hybrid world, this new way of working, it's really where companies need to put a focus on culture. So again, super excited that I received this topic, because in my career, I've had experiences where I've worked in companies with fantastic cultures, and I have worked in companies that didn't have great cultures. So I understand what it takes. So again, let's start off about, what does it take to win at culture? And I think very, very much at the top of that list is, you have to be intentional. It does not just happen automatically. You have to really put focus on it. I'm lucky that I did work at a company that had a fantastic culture. And I wanted to share that story real quickly, because as I put this deck together and thought about, why was that company's culture so strong, so many things popped up that I'm going to share with you today, because it still resonates even in this new world of work. So I was lucky enough to work for a company called ExactTarget, based here in Indianapolis. I was employee 487. I know exactly the number, and that was in 2010. And we were growing like crazy. We had remote workers then. We had global offices. And we built a company. I led global recruiting, where we took it from the 500 when I started to well over 2,000. We went IPO, and then we were acquired by Salesforce. So a great success story, but a big part of the reason that Salesforce acquired ExactTarget was because of our culture. We had a very strong culture from top down, and it made me think, like, wow, how do we do it? What was that magic? So a lot of good things happened at ExactTarget. First off, we had a very strong brand. And I think, all companies need a strong brand, know who you are, and make sure you're promoting that and your values. We had leaders who communicated well from top down, and they communicated frequently. We had HR programs that supported our values and got people behind what the company was trying to accomplish. We had a great onboarding program where we welcomed people, and we did it in person as much as we could. And it just really started off the journey with ExactTarget in a positive way. And we had awesome rewards and recognition programs. And we did all this, when you think about it now, before Slack and before Zoom. I mean, we did it all back in the day when we didn't have the technology we have today. So I really wanted to share my little bit of ExactTarget story, just because I have worked in a company that did it well, and I want to take you today through some ways you can do the same thing at your company. So how do you build a winning culture? And I'll take it a little bit from the ExactTarget playbook. You have to be your brand, and you have to build your brand and define it. And that's setting up those core values. You have to communicate. It's always important, but especially today in this world of remote work, you have to communicate even more so, and with a lot more detail. You have to connect and care and celebrate your people. All this should be being done anyway, but especially today, you have to be more empathetic and just think about the situations that your current employees are in, and how do you make them feel connected and overall ensure they're well, both mentally and physically. Onboarding, again, we all know it's been this way all along. A good onboarding program promotes retention. So you got to make sure you are reflecting your brand and building an onboarding program. And lastly, investing in your people. Again, these are things that you should be doing anyway, but how do we, turn it up a little bit now that we're in this new world of work, and make sure you're focusing on it? So let's start off with brand. And I always say, be your brand. So at the top, start to define, who are you? What do you believe in, and what are your values? And and help make sure that those values are created along with your employees, so they buy into them. Here at Jobvite, we have 4 very strong core values. We care, we do what we say, we embrace a growth mindset, and we keep it real. And I'll be honest, when I joined Jobvite, I love the fact we only had 4. I love the fact that they were simple. I love the fact that I could easily understand them, and I could easily see those types of values being, turned over every day, in the behavior of our employees. So need to build your brand from the top down and with your employees, and then share it, because your people need to understand what you value and they need to help you promote it. Secondly, build and showcase your employment brand, and that's building out an awesome career site. Use it in your recruitment marketing campaigns. Use it in social media and blogs. Once you know what your core values are and how you want to be as a company, amplify it and share it and showcase it. And use your employees. You're paying them every day to work with you, and they're all excited to be with you. So make sure you're using them to amplify your brand. Everyone wants to feel like they belong somewhere, and they want to be proud of where they work. So give them the swag, give them that sense of belonging. I'm wearing my Jobvite swag today. I like wearing my swag, so I go out and people see me and they might ask where I work and what I do, and I'm happy to share what I do and the great company I work for. And what that does is just bring more referrals in-house. So a way to attract talent and bring more people in is be proud of your brand and make sure you're promoting it. Lastly, also work on your candidate experience. I mean, we all know as people in the recruiting world that it takes a lot to attract talent and get someone across the line to accept a position. So make sure that you're being that candidate experience, the brand is out there from the very beginning, from your job description to your career site to every touch point along the way. Make sure your brand is front and center and people understand what your company believes in and what it's all about. That full transparency will attract or it will repel the candidates, and that's what you want. You want to make sure you're putting your brand out there and people know who you are and know what they're getting into when they do decide to join the team. Secondly, communication. This is so important. Once that brand's figured out and your values are there and you're amplifying it, make sure you're communicating, not just externally, but also internally. Make sure your employees understand what your company is all about. Be as transparent as possible, especially in this day and age and the world of work we're in. Everyone's adults, they understand, and they can handle good news and bad news. I also think in this world of work, because we're not in offices, we're not in meeting rooms, we're not in offsites together, please follow up in writing as much as possible. Many times at home or Zoom calls or internet issues or etc., distractions, people might need to go back and remember what the message was. So make sure you document or share a deck or put something in writing following meetings, just so people have a place to go back and refer. It builds trust, it builds that sense of belonging, especially when you're sharing and you're being as transparent as you can be. Another biggie with this new world is to provide context. So many times meetings are added to our calendar or someone departs or teams change and no one really understands why that happened. And all that does is create a lot of doubt and conversations amongst people about what's going on. The more leaders can share and provide context of why something's happening and build that loyalty and trust, the better culture you will create. Daily stand-ups, something that in the tech world happens frequently in building software, but now I'm seeing it across a lot of different industries where you're getting on, whether it be daily or maybe it's 3 times a week, and just having a quick check-in. We have one 2 days a week with my team. We just check in on how's everyone doing, how you feeling, anything you're doing that you need some help with, what are your blockers, any plans for projects that are coming up you need help. It's just a way for us all to connect. We're on video, we're kind of seeing each other face to face virtually, and just ensuring we're all on top of what's happening in each other's personal and professional lives. So if you can institute daily stand-ups, I really believe that helps with the sense of belonging and being part of something and just feeling the bond with the rest of your team. Define your communication channels. Another biggie. We have so much today between Slack and texting and emails and Zoom, people don't know sometimes what channel to use. So set the ground rules, set the norms, let people know how to communicate with each other, what channels to use, and it just makes it easier to get responses and answers to some questions people might have. And meeting cadence. This is always important today or whenever, that you need to have set meetings with your team. But I think managers and leaders need to, again, over communicate today and even have additional meetings and ensure you don't cancel those meetings. Again, sometimes that makes people think in their own mind what's going on if meetings get canceled. So define the purpose of meetings, have those all hands, have those team meetings, have those one-on-ones, and keep them on the schedule because you need to have those check-in points with members of your team. Connect, care, and celebrate. Everyone wants to belong, as I've already said multiple times, and I think that's what really creates a great culture. So there's many ways to keep that connection going and show that you care. So start with technology. First off, we're in a new world today, so much different technology, whether it be just the hardware aspect of it all to ensure people have what they need to do their job successfully from at home or remotely, as well as do they have the right applications? Do they know how to use them? Is it Slack? Is it Monday.com? Whatever it might be. But make sure people have what they need to do their jobs well. That just takes a whole level of stress out of the daily work life and let them focus more on the building relationships and doing their job. As leaders, I also suggest you need to unplug yourself. I mean, we're always talking about, taking time and especially working from home, people need to take time maybe during the day to go for a walk or do a yoga class or do something with their family. I think leaders need to unplug as well and make sure they're modeling that behavior. Nothing is worse than, leaders on vacation sending emails and engaging. It makes you think you need to do the same thing when you go on vacation. So I think if we're going to walk the talk, leaders need to unplug and also give employees that permission to take that time themselves as well. Because I think when they see, managers doing that, they do it as well. One of our teams here has the 501 rule. At 501 every day, look at the clock and say, okay, am I done for the day? Can I turn it off? Can I go have some balance and do something for myself? And it really makes all of us think about the 501 rule because yes, can something wait till later? Do I need to have some balance and time for myself? That leads us into wellness. This is a big talking point today, whether that's physical wellness or mental wellness. And I think as we're working in this world of pandemic and stresses and distractions, managers and others need to really be sure they're watching their employees' wellness, both mentally and physically. Maybe you gamify it. How many steps did you have today? Have a little contest. Do reimbursements for wellness so people are ensuring they're going to the gym or yoga or whatever they want to do. Provide speakers that can come and talk about topics. We had one last week where we talked about breathing exercises and meditation, and it was just nice to take a break and then talk about a topic that is going to make us better as a whole person. Give maybe applications like Headspace or Calm to your employees so they're feeling that sense of the company caring, have that empathy, and wanting them to be healthy and well, not just physically but also mentally. Employee resource groups, always encourage those. It creates inclusivity. People are able to work together on different topics they have passion for. It just brings that connection again in the smaller space. I can remember in one company, there was a knitting club and there was like 3 people in it, but they loved the knitting club. They would meet like every week or two and knit and talk. So, whatever clubs your employees want to, start or groups they want to start, encourage that. It just creates that connection and that sense of culture. Kumo Space is one we use here at Jobvite. It's a way for us remotely to kind of have a get together or in a break room, and you can log in and use Kumo Space. We have Kahoot, which we're going to use today, another way to just do surveys and a way to stay connected and engaged. Celebrate and recognize behaviors and make it fun. We're working, but we're people and we want to have fun and we want to create an environment where we celebrate other people and we recognize them. You can use things like Bonusly, which is an app that helps with recognition. There's an app called Goose Chase that's a scavenger hunt that's done virtually. Have team lunches. I know a friend had a team where they sent pizzas to everyone one day at the same time, and from wherever they lived and worked, they had a pizza lunch together. So try to do things that celebrate your team, celebrate the behaviors of people, and just make it fun. And especially today, recognizing people that are, going above and beyond to have to work autonomously, be self-managed, and are getting solutions to problems on their own. Celebrate them and recognize them, those behaviors that are really helping drive your company forward and building your culture. Onboarding, we talked about that earlier. It is so key, and as all of us in the recruiting space know, after all the hard work of bringing someone in, we want to make sure they get brought in an onboarding process that's clean and automated, and it makes them want to stay with our company. So continue that candidate experience that you've built right through the onboarding process. Send new hires some swag, send them a personalized email, make them feel special, make them want to say to their family, wow, look at this company I'm joining. They just sent me a box of some great stuff. Automate the process if you can. Here at Jobvite, we do have an automated job onboarding process through our system, and it's amazing. I have done it as an admin, I've done it as a new employee, and it just automates all those tasks, which on average is about 50 different tasks you need to do to onboard, but it automates the entire thing and just makes it so it's easy for the candidate who's now a new employee, it's easier for the manager, and no balls get dropped, and it's a smooth process. So do as much as you can to automate onboarding, and as managers, ensure you're checking in on your new hires, the first day, the first week for sure, but even continue that on. They just need to know you're there and that you're caring, that they're settling in and are having everything they need to do their job. Assign a buddy. I have a buddy here at Jobvite. He's been fantastic. Someone I can go to whenever I have a question that maybe I don't want to bother my manager with, but just someone they can go to and talk to about just, the culture that's being built and how do I engage and how do I get more involved. Do a welcome lunch, send a gift card or a meal to the home of the new person. Wouldn't that be great as a nice surprise your first day of work? And then again, with onboarding, make sure you're organizing a schedule that's more than just the first week or second week. Do it for 90 days or longer. Make sure that there's a process in place and check-ins in place to make sure your new hires engaged. And lastly, invest in your people. I mean, some of this is, what we do normally, not in this world of work, this crazy world of work we're in, but make sure you're investing, and especially in your managers. It's not been easy for managers this past year or two, dealing with the pandemic and all the change going on. So make sure they're getting the training and the support they need to do a better job managing teams remotely. And that's really helping them understand more on the mental health side as well, and to really show them how to show their people that they care. And that they have empathy for what they're going through at home, and they need to be more flexible, and they need to trust that they will do their job well even though they're not in the office. Make sure those touch points are created and those personal connections are created, and make sure managers understand that they need to go the extra mile now to make sure people are feeling okay at home. And change management, we're changing all the time between acquisitions and mergers and leaders changing. So make sure our managers are trained on how to work through change management. It's a whole different can of worms to deal with, and managers just need to be up to speed on best way to handle it. Build programs that support your values. Here at Jobvite, we have our value champions. Every month, we are able to nominate people who represent one of our values, and then whoever wins that nomination is recognized in an all hands every month. A great way to keep our values top of mind, a great way to have our programs in place that support the culture that we're trying to build. And lastly, develop and nourish your people. Keep investing in them. People need professional development. They want professional development. Showcase people that are moving up in their careers or taking on new roles that maybe are remote or in locations that aren't near the home office. You don't have to be in front of people to grow your career. So keep enhancing and embracing internal mobility and ensuring that people are seeing their careers and their careers progressing and developing, and then recognize and celebrate them. That's all people want, is to feel like they belong somewhere and that they're also being recognized and celebrated for the good work they're doing. So a winning culture, a lot of it starts with just being intentional. As I started this presentation off, you need to think about what kind of company you want to be and what kind of culture you want and how you want to live that culture, and then be intentional in how you build it out and build programs. Be transparent, be more communicative, over communicate. People want to hear from leaders and peers and understand what's going on, and add that context into those conversations so there's no question as to why something's happening. Take wellness super seriously for all of us. Get up, move around, mental health, physical health, it's needed. And we just need to make sure companies are putting that as a focal point, especially with so many people working from home. Focus on onboarding. It's so key to retention and engagement, and a nice smooth onboarding program not only represents your brand well, but it also ensures that whoever is coming on board hopefully will have a better sense of belonging and longer retention and engagement. Model the right behavior as leaders. Take time off, unplug. Don't send those emails at nights and on the weekends. Time them out if you have to. But try to take time yourself as leaders. You need to recharge, and make sure then you're modeling that behavior for your team. And lastly, celebrate those who are adapting and taking those risks to help the company move forward in this new world of work. It's not been easy, and some people, are easier, do it better than others. Make sure you celebrate them and recognize those behaviors so others can model it as well. So once you've done all this and you're building that culture in this new world of work, make sure you take everything you're doing from your brand, your values, all the communication programs, etc., and amplify it. This is your employment brand. This is what represents you as a company, and this is what's going to attract that talent into your culture that you want to help you and your company grow. So thank you all for joining today. Great to be part of Working Session Wednesdays.
Thanks, MT. Great having you. Awesome lesson. We're going to hop on over to kahoot.it. There is a chat with all the information. If everyone could try and get logged in so we can review what we learned today and get some lucky attendee a Jobvite prize pack. So you're going to kahoot.it. You're going to be entering PIN 8121696. So we'll wait till we get some players in here to win a prize pack. We have another name this week with the derivative of Amber. I'm going to biasly support that person in winning this prize pack. See if we can get a couple more people in here. We're at a decent handful. All right, can we get 3 more maybe? And we did it. All right, we're going to get started. Question number 1 for our week of inclusive employee culture. Here we go. Which is not a key to building a winning culture? Is that connecting, withholding, onboarding, or investing? Which is not a key to building a winning employee culture? And the answer is withholding. Let's not do that. Let's be transparent instead. Awesome job, team. Got Katie, top of the charts. Next question. What is the best way to showcase your employment brand? Career sites, blogs, social media, or all of the above? Got that brand, you want to showcase it, but where? All of the above. Great job. 100% correct answer there. CD, top of the charts. Katie, closely following behind. A great onboarding program improves retention by 82%, 97%, 54%, or 39%. This is a tough one. The answer is 82%. Good job. I was not sure the answer on that one myself. So way to go. We got some different participants moving up here. CD still in the lead. Final question. When creating a winning culture, you invest in your people by training and building, recognizing and celebrating, developing and nourishing, or all of the above? These ones can get kind of tricky. Our answer is all of the above. Amazing work. Let's see who our third spot winner is. Mel. Second spot is Katie. And in first today, we have CD. Amazing job, CD. If you could please email me at the email that will be in the chat here. Identify yourself and let us know that you were that winner today, and we will get you a Jobvite prize pack. However, if you did not win our Kahoot quiz just now, we do have another way for you to win. Let me just share my screen real quick. So if you have been attending other Summer to Evolve sessions on our road trip this summer, which I hope you have, you'll know about our word of the day. So this week we have jobvite.com/word. You can enter in borough for our New York City visit this week. Enter in borough, and this week we will be giving away a Jobvite Summer to Evolve t-shirt to one lucky winner from our sessions this week. But it also enters you for another chance to win our $1,000 Marriott gift card, which we will give away at the end of the summer. Super excited for that. I hope a Working Session Wednesday attendee can pull that off and win that, since you've been spending the summer with us. Which brings me to what we've gone over this week. So yesterday we had Too Talented Tuesday, building an inclusive employee culture with Julie Sowash and Johanna Lucas. That's going to be on YouTube, so check that out at youtube.com/Jobvite to watch that session if you couldn't attend. Tomorrow we have Walkthrough Thursday. If you want to sign up for that, the link is in the chat. I'll be going over some cool things like job description grader, so how to identify biases and non-inclusive language in your job descriptions and how to correct for that, along with our bias blocker tool, which are part of our D&I pack. So you definitely want to check out how to take some of those inclusive practices we've been talking about yesterday and today and put them to work in your hiring process. So that's the rest of this week. And then next week, we are going to focus on the importance of communication, and we're jumping across the pond to London. So we hope you'll join us for, once again, Too Talented Tuesdays, Working Session Wednesdays, especially. I am a little biased there. And then, of course, Walkthrough Thursdays. So that is all for us on this Working Session Wednesday. Hope to see you again next week, and thanks for joining us on the Summer to Evolve road trip. Talk to you soon.